grand rising, or good afternoon, depending upon what time you are listening. Today is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. This time space sequence we call February the 17th, 2020. Today I'll be presenting for you the blog post from the website entitled 7 Seconds. This is part one of a two-part series. Again, the name of the blog post from today is 7 Seconds, part one of a two-part series. Our affirmation for today: I am the encoder of my subconscious mind. I am the encoder of my subconscious mind. What if I told you that your decisions were made 7 seconds before you became conscious of what decision you were going to make? What if I told you that your decisions were made 7 seconds before you became conscious of what decisions you were going to make? I am not being weird. Okay, well, maybe, but depending upon how you define that word. But I am about to stress the importance of becoming more aware of your unconscious conditioning. Because if it's true that your decisions are made 7 seconds before you become aware of what decisions you are going to make, then this means your unconscious or automatic mind is making your decisions. For those who might not believe you have an automatic mind, then just think about driving a car. Once you learn how to drive, do you have to relearn each time you get behind the wheel of the car? Of course not, because your mind has automated the process of driving the car. Therefore, the mechanics of how to drive a car has been embedded into your unconscious mind. And these mechanics were more than likely taught to you by another person. Because our minds can be trained, it's imperative that you are aware of this truth on all levels of your living. If your decisions are truly made by your unconscious mind, 7 seconds before your conscious mind has decided, then you probably will want to be more intentional in the input that you are given to your unconscious mind. This 7-second delay between your unconscious decision and your conscious decision may very well play a significant part as to why life seems to repeat itself in ways you really don't like but feel helpless to change. Maybe the only way to change the reality of your life to reflect more of what you want your life to look like is to change the input into your unconscious mind, that part of your mind that is automatic. In a study by scientists led by Professor John Dylan Haynes from the Max Planck Institute for Human Cognitive and Brain Science in Leipzig, they found that, and I quote, many processes in the brain occur automatically and without involvement of our consciousness. This prevents our mind from being overloaded by simple routine tasks. But when it comes to decisions we tend to assume are made by our conscious mind, this is questioned by our current findings, end quote. Nature Neuroscience, April 13, 2008. This experiment expands upon a theory presented almost 20 years prior by the brain scientist Benjamin Lepet, who found the brain signal called readiness potential, which found that a decision occurred a fraction of a second before conscious decision. Lipet's theory sparked significant controversy because it questioned whether humans actually have free will. Is our free will an illusion? Haynes' experiment ups the ante and puts the idea of free will in front of the firing squad 7 seconds before we consciously decide. But But is free will, as we call it, completely eliminated if you have some intentional contribution into what goes into your subconscious mind? Most of our subconscious mind is developed before we are 7 or 8 years of age. By that time, we have already been inundated with what our beliefs should be, who our God is or isn't, what our most important values are, what color our skin is, what group of people we are supposed to associate with, what we should do on Sunday mornings, what music makes us feel closer to God, what words we should or shouldn't say, what we shouldn't do on Saturday night, and what our general thinking patterns are supposed to be about ourselves and others. We already have preset ideas of what's possible for us and what is impossible for us. And all of our natural born abilities, like an ability to swim, fearlessness, and our ability to self-regulate our body temperature without clothing, have been lost or retrained in the name of safety, security, and morality. The Jesuits used to say, and they might still say it, and I quote, "Give us a kid till she's 7 and we will have her for life," end quote. Is this too braggadocio of a proclamation? What about a child's free will? Well, survey shows that most Blacks in America would identify as Christian or some denominational sect of Christianity. Therefore, the Jesuits' proclamation is probably true for most people in most religions or organized groups. Maybe we don't have free will because our free will was hijacked by religious, cultural, and societal conditioning that train us to perpetuate a world in a way decided by others long ago. Some of us now want to change this world, including ourselves, but because the conditioning in most of us runs so deep and we are so protective of what we think are absolutes, i.e., information given to us by others, that our current decision making isn't really based on what we currently want or need, but is controlled by subconscious conditioning embedded in us by others long ago. And therefore, we find people, including ourselves, almost impossible to change. So my 7 seconds challenge question for today is, choose A or B. Is it the power of the doctrines or the power of the conditioning, i.e., repetitive presentations, that cause beliefs to be absorbed as absolute truths in our mind? Choose A, the power of the doctrines, or B, the power of the conditioning. After you have answered, think about why you choose A versus B or B versus A. And whose voice do you hear in your head as you choose? Our affirmation for today: I am the encoder of my subconscious mind. Because this blog post was lengthier than my normal blog post, I divided it into 2 posts. So I do suggest that you do read or listen to the second post that's going to come out on Thursday or Friday of this week, so that you can have a full picture of what the blog post is really talking about. Because this is just the first part of 7 seconds, part 1 of a 2-part series. Thank you so much for listening to the audio blogcast podcast presented to you by freeyourthinkingmind.com. Please check us out on our website at freeyourthinkingmind.com so that you can read the blogs. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel at FYTM Network on YouTube. Ashe, free thinkers, ashe. May what you say manifest in your life today and every day. Ashe.